So you're watching this video because you're asking yourself the question, am I talented enough? And I want to encourage you to ask a different question, because that question doesn't really help you. Because the answer is either yes, you are talented enough, which means you don't really need to change anything, or two, you're not talented enough and you should just give up. And so let's ask a better question, right? It's what I would propose is, whenever you are tempted to ask yourself, am I talented enough, or can I do this? Instead, ask yourself, how can I become more devoted to my craft? Right? So that shifts the question from can I do this to how can I do this? And it's not, I don't think it's about a goal. I don't think it's about, I want to work at Blizzard, I want to work at Disney. I don't think that's what it's about. When you look at someone like Nathan Fowkes or James Gurney, what do you notice about them? Is it that they had this goal? Was James Gurney 5 years old and dreaming about, what he would do precisely like Dinotopia, and then become a publisher of books, and then create a YouTube channel? No, that stuff didn't exist when he was a kid. It wasn't like he had a vision board of these specific goals, like I want to work at this company. And same with Nathan Fowkes. I don't think he was like, I want to work for this company one day. I think it was just, when you look at these guys and their stories, they just really like painting, and they're very devoted to their craft. So I would say that work in terms of systems and not goals. So instead of saying I want to work for these people, say what would I need to do on a daily basis? What sort of work habits would I need in order to become the type of person that company would want to hire? So what sort of systems are you implementing, right? So that question of how can I become more devoted to my craft? That's a question that says, what am I not doing that I could be doing, that I would need to do in order to reach the level that I need to be at in order to get the kind of job that I want? So that question kind of distills all that into one question. And then from that question, how can I become more devoted to my craft? You go to another question, what are the next 3 very small steps that I could and would do immediately? Because a lot of times we come up with this idea of, how can I become more devoted to my craft? Well, if I did figure drawing every day. Okay, so then, but that's in the future, right? So then you go to the 3 tiny steps that you can do immediately, and that brings it from the future into the present. So maybe 3 tiny steps, right? Really tiny steps. 1 could be deciding when you're going to do figure drawing. Carve out a place in your schedule for it. Decide how long you want to do it. So maybe you say, okay, well, I think I could do 20 minutes after lunch, right? And that would be the time. So that would be one small step. The second small step, you could decide, you could pull out your materials. You could get your materials ready to go, so you don't have to think about, am I going to do it in charcoal or pencil or pen, or am I going to do it in oil paints? You don't have to decide that. You've already figured it out. And then the third step could be whatever else. Maybe deciding where you're going to do it. Like, I'm going to do it in front of the TV. I'm going to do it at my computer. I'm going to go to an actual figure drawing class where there's a model. Or I'm going to go to the coffee shop and draw people there. So those are just 3 really small steps, but they get that ball rolling. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Instead of asking the question, am I talented enough? Come up with a better question. How can I become more devoted to my craft? And then what are 3 tiny steps that I could and would do immediately? And that's what I have today. So good luck, take care, goodbye, and keep going. You got this.